Welcome back to our channel Respect Education. Hi everybody, now we see chemistry worksheet number 10. It belongs to metals and non-metals. Right. Now round number 1, multiple choice questions. In which question number 1? Because of high electropositivity, the atoms of metals can easily form option A positive ion, option B negative ion, option C neutral ion, option D covalent bonds. Now here let us see the definition of electropositivity. Actually, the definition of electropositivity is the tendency of an atom to easily lose electrons to form positively charged cations. So, from the definition, we can easily understand that by losing electrons, the atom gets positively charged. So, here it becomes positive ion. So, option A is the right answer. Now, we see question number 2, that is, which of the following is the strongest oxidizing agent? Here options oxygen, nitrogen, sodium and fluorine. Here clearly we can say the answer as option D, fluorine. Let us see the reason. The reason is that fluorine is the most electronegative element. Most electronegative element. And hence it has the highest attractive force on electrons of all the elements. That is the reason here we can say fluorine as the strongest oxidizing agent. So here we can say option D is the right answer. Now we see question number 3. Reaction between X and Y forms compound Z. X loses electron and Y gains electron. Which of the following properties is not shown by the compound Z? So here certain 4 options are given. Let us see the question once again. X loses electron. So here X gets positively charged, whereas Y gains electron. So here Y gets negatively charged. So here if we understand carefully, the bond formed between X and Y is nothing but ionic bond. This is ionic bond. Now, if we observe the characteristics properties of ionic bond, it has a high melting point. Yes, this is true. Ionic bond has high melting point. It has low melting point is not true. It is incorrect. It conducts electricity in molten state. Yes, in fact, ionic bond, okay, it is a good conductor. So, in aqueous and molten state. So, this is true. So, it occurs as solid. This is also true. So, these are solids at room temperature. So, here if we see which is not correct, that is option B is incorrect. So, here according to the question option B is the correct option. Now we see question number 4. The table shows the properties of some substances. Which substance is a covalent substance? So here melting points are given in degree Celsius and electronic conductivity. This is wrong. It is electrical conductivity. So let us change it. This is electrical conductivity. Right, in solids and again in liquids. Now here we need to understand certain things that first of all covalent bonds, they have low melting point. If we compare these, either option A or option B, these two are the low. So answer is there in between A and B. Next thing is that electricity, see here electrical conductivity means the first point what we need to understand is electricity is nothing but flow of free electrons. Flow of free electrons. This is what the definition of electricity. Now another point what we need to understand is, so free electrons are required for electricity transfer. So here for the transformation of electricity, free electrons are required. But here we need to understand that there is no availability of free electrons or ions, because here the covalent bonds are formed. Here the question is covalent substance. So covalent bonds are formed by sharing of electrons. So here there is no availability to get the free electrons. When there is no possibility of free electrons, there is no movement of electricity. So here we can say that does not conduct electricity in either state, either it may be in solid or it may be in liquid. So here you see all the three, it conducts wrong, it conducts wrong. So here all the three are matched for option B. So option B is the right answer. Now we see question number 5. For which of the following metal oxides the aluminum acts as reducing agent? So if we understand the reactivity series, let us compare zinc with aluminum. So here zinc will be there below the aluminum. So here aluminum acts as reducing agent, whereas sodium is above the aluminum. So in this pair, because of this, here aluminum can't act as reducing agent. So here the question is that we are asked to find the pair. So this is not suitable pair. Here it acts as reducing agent, whereas it can't reduce, because here sodium is the more reactive than aluminum. Now let us see manganese and iron. Iron will be there below aluminum. So definitely aluminum can act as reducing agent. But here we need to understand that manganese is above the aluminum, but the thing is that it is just above the aluminum. It is just above the aluminum. So in this case, aluminum can also be act as the reducing agent. So here it may be the correct option. And here this is potassium, it is above the aluminum. And here this is magnesium, this is also above the aluminum. So in this case, so aluminum cannot act as reducing agent. So this is the wrong option. And here lead and copper, Pb and copper. See here aluminum can be acted as reducing agent. But the thing is that here these are very unreactive and they are found in their native state, and even carbon can be acted as reducing agent for Pb, whereas for copper hydrogen can be acting as reducing agent. Means here these are negligible while comparing with the aluminum. So using aluminum as a reducing agent is not required for these two. So here from options if you see option for the question 5, option B is the correct answer. Now we see question number 6, that is the electronic configuration of three elements x, y and z are x is 2, that means here this is nothing but helium, second element is helium. Y is 2, 8, 7, if we add it 2 plus 8 is 10, 10 plus 7 is 17, so here Y is chlorine. So here Z is 2, 8, 2, this is 10, 10 plus 2, 12, so here Z is magnesium. Which of the following is correct regarding these elements? Now here let us see, X is a metal, say helium. Is it a metal? No, this is wrong. Here the question is which is correct. Y is a metal, chlorine is not a metal. Z is a non-metal, magnesium is a metal. Here this statement is wrong. Y is a non-metal, chlorine is a non-metal, this is true. And Z is a metal, magnesium is a metal, this is true. So here option D is the correct answer. Now we see question number 7. An element reacts with oxygen to give a compound with a high melting point. This compound is soluble in water. The element is likely to be. So here if we take calcium, so it is like Ca plus O2 gives rise to CaO. If you do balancing, this is 2Ca plus O2 gives rise to 2CaO. Here the melting point of calcium is, calcium oxide is 2572 degrees Celsius. Now let us see with carbon. When carbon is added to oxygen, so here we can write the equation as C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. Now here whose melting point is minus 205 degrees Celsius. And next one is silicon oxide, that is SiO2. So here silicon dioxide, SiO2, whose melting point will be 1710 degrees Celsius. And here if we take iron plus oxygen, we get iron 2 oxide, iron 2 oxide, whose melting point will be 1377 degrees Celsius. Now let us here compare high melting point. Clearly you see 2572, this is the high melting point, and this compound means 2CaO, means CaO, soluble in water. Let us check here where it is soluble in water. So here if we add water to CaO, it becomes CaO plus H2O becomes calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. So clearly option 1 satisfies all the given conditions. So the element is likely to be option A, calcium. So here option A is the right answer. Now we see question number 8. Lewis symbols are represented by, it's a direct question, dots, not by lines, not by circles, not by commas. So option A is the right answer. Now we see question number 9. An element M has 2 valence electrons. Then the formula of its oxide is, for example here let us consider magnesium, okay, whose valence electrons is 2. So here we can take 2 plus oxide means adding to oxygen, this is O2 minus. When it becomes compound, then here it becomes Mg, these two will be here, crisscross method, and here O, oxygen, these two will be here. So we can take the LCM of these two. So LCM of these two is nothing but another 2. So divide both the 2's with that LCM 2. So it becomes Mg, 2 by 2 is 1, O, 2 by 2 is 1. So it is MgO. As I am taking the metal as Mg, in place of M I am taking Mg. So now finally in place of Mg I am writing M again. So it becomes finally MO. So option A is the right answer. Now we see question number 10. An element X1123 forms an ionic compound with another element Y. Then the charge on the ion formed by X is, so here X is whose atomic number is 11, nothing but this is sodium, right? So by losing one electron, it gets the electronic configuration of neon. So here to get it, it should lose one electron. So it becomes plus 1. Okay, losing electron is nothing but positive charge. So plus 1. So here option A is the right answer. Now we see question number 11. Here chlorine reacts with magnesium. Again here magnesium reacts with chlorine. Means magnesium reacts with two chlorines. So here we get finally MgCl2, magnesium chloride. So here as magnesium loses 2 electrons, magnesium gets positive 2, whereas chlorine receives both the electrons, so that chlorine gets negative. So which of the following properties are not shown by the above compound? So here this is nothing but one of the elements loses electron, whereas other one gains electron. So this is nothing but ionic compound. So we can say it as ionic bond also. So clearly this is ionic bond. First let us note it down. Here I am writing it is an ionic bond. Now the question is that which is not shown, which is or are not shown. Let us see the first one, that is high melting point. Clearly we know ionic bonds have high melting point because large amount of heat energy is required to overcome the attractions between the positive and negative ions. So this is true. Next, non-directional nature. Ionic bonds are the electrostatic forces between two opposite charges. Hence, bonding direction doesn't matter at all. So non-directional natural is also correct. Now soluble in water. Here it is ionic bond, and it can be also called as a polar compound. It is called either ionic compound or polar compound. So we know it can easily be dissolved in polar solvents like water. Since water is also a polar solvent, so definitely it can be dissolved in water. So this is also true. Now let us see last one, that is conductor in solid state. This is false because here this is false. We can say no because its ions are tightly held in the lattice, but in molten state and in aqueous solutions it will conduct the electricity. It will conduct the electricity, whereas in solid state it can't conduct. So this is false. So here which is not correct? So option D is the not correct. So according to the question, option D is the right answer.